What is going on, YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today I am very excited to be bringing you the finals of the case tournament that happened here at Denver Collecticon, hosted by Rocky Mountain Collectibles. Now, this match is going to be between two of my Team Icewall teammates. On the left, we're going to be having a MetalGarurumonX antibody, and then on the right, we're going to be having a MagnamonX antibody / Armor Rush. Now, MetalGarurumonX antibody, obviously one of the top decks of the BT9 format, and then Armor Rush has been a deck that has been around, has been doing really good, but my teammate Luis here has been pretty much specializing in it for the past couple formats, and so he is very comfortable with this list. But something that you have to keep in mind is that with the MetalGarurumon, you do have the WarGarurumonX antibody, which does bounce level 4 or lower, so even things like Magnamon, you can get them very big with their DP boost, but they can still just get bounced back and really not do anything for you here. And we are also going to see the WarGarurumon Sagittarius mode can also be pretty strong in this matchup if you have a tamer to be able to get those bounces going. But gonna have Davis come out here. We see the new Davis from the new starter deck, and then on the other end, interestingly, there is Sorajo, which is a card that I don't really see in these Armor Rush style lists very often, or really at all. And even with Luis being my teammate, I don't think I've seen him use it prior to this event, so still innovating in the meta. Now, going into BT10, I think Sorajo is very strong just off of the fact that decks like Crossheart and Jessmon do play a lot of Digimon that don't have sources, but in the BT9 metagame, I don't really see it being as powerful. And now we're going to see the Davis Ken come out, the kind of key tamer in a deck like this, because you are going to be having multiple blue-greens with that Ragemon. You're also just going to be wanting to have the unsuspend effect with your armors. Magnamon does unsuspend naturally, but all your other armors like Flamedramon or even the Ragemon are not going to be able to unsuspend themselves without the Davis Ken, so does help give you the ability to swing into your opponent's security if you Armor Purge, be able to Digivolve up, unsuspend, and get some more swings in. But nothing in the raising for the Armor Rush player here, and we are just going to be swinging in 2 checks right here, bringing them down to just 1 security, so looking pretty rough right here. We did see them grab the WarGarurumonX antibody off of the blue memory boost. If they had it prior, then they probably could have went into it with that X antibody option that they had, and that would have allowed them to get the swings, unsuspend, and then they would have been able to swing again to clear this last check. And then with that Gabumon in raising, even if they were to clear the things on board, they would need to clear board plus set up a Magnamon to be able to stick. But here comes out the Megadeth, gonna go ahead and bounce out that WarGarurumonX antibody so that there's not as much pressure. But gonna play out the Davis, but you still just have 1 security, and there's gonna be 2 Digimon coming out, so unless you hit something like Megadeth, you probably win this turn, but that is just going to be a Magnamon, so they're going to be able to swing in with that Gabumon, be able to take game 1. Now, going into game 2, we are going to be having the Armor Rush going first, and they are just going to build up that Flamedramon in raising. If they do have Fire Rocket, this is a pretty good first turn because you are going to be swinging in at 8k with the Flamedramon, and so you swing in with the Fire Rocket, get 2 checks, and you have a pretty good chance of surviving. Unfortunately, though, there is no jamming VMon, so if you do go down first check, you wouldn't be able to jam the second check, but they do hit the WarGarurumonX antibody, so that is going to actually take them down. So even if they did have the Fire Rocket, they still would have got the second check with the rookie, but then had a much higher chance of going down as well. Still think you had a pretty good shot of surviving insecurity at 8k, but not the biggest deal. You still get that Armor Purge and be able to keep a Digimon on the board and keep that threat going. So gonna start building up and back. Davis and Blue Memory Boost does give you a pretty good amount of memory to work with if you are the MetalGarurumon player. On the other end, no tamers yet, still being able to develop on the board pretty well. Got that Raidramon, got the Vmon, and then going to be having another jamming Vmon in back, which jamming Vmon going to work much better with the Fire Rocket if you do go into it, because if you do Armor Purge, still going to be able to swing in with that jamming. But we're going to go for just 2 checks right here. Armor Purge on that Raidramon, going to go back down to a Vmon, could go up into another armor here. If you play something like a Magnamon, your opponent's still going to go to 3, so you could go into a 2-drop armor and then maybe play a 3-drop to fill out the hand or fill out the memory curve, but not sure what's in their hand at the moment. Not too many good plays here if you don't have the 2 to Digivolve armor to fill out this memory curve, so just going to throw out a jamming Vmon, going with Vmon Turbo here. Are going to promote up that Garurumon and then just play out a Gabumon, so Gonna be probably going up into the GarurumonX antibody. They did just hit it if they didn't have it already, but if they didn't have it, it is interesting that they are promoting up. They could potentially get Megadethed if you swing into something like Davisken, or they put another Ragemon on top of one of these Vmons, so that does put your stack in danger, but looks like they just had the pieces with that blue memory boost coming out, so gonna go up, swing over the Vmon just to get the clear, because now if you go up into the GarurumonX antibody, you can bounce the other jamming Vmon and end up in a pretty good position. You did take a lot of checks early, but if you are able to clear the board and set up the Garurumon without your opponent having a green source to Megadeth, you are going to be looking pretty good. So actually just going to go with the Garurumon there. That's going to put the opponent at 1, and then going into the opponent's turn, they're just going to swing in, get that jamming, and play the Davisken. So finally getting a green source on board, being able to threaten that Megadeth, but also giving them a way to potentially gain some more memory and get some more aggression with that unsuspend effect. But looking in some danger here. You only have one Digimon in the back, so if you swing in, unless you have Magnamon, I don't think you're going to be able to unsuspend and be able to swing in again. So going to be taking a lot of damage right here. We are doing a decent amount of thinking on the other end. Going to go with the Gabumon Search here. So going to be able to grab a Garuru and an Omni. So double hit is looking pretty nice. And going again with the GabumonX antibody just to be able to get some more cycle going. But we do see the GarurumonX antibody being hit, and we know the X antibody's in hand. I could see it in the frame of the camera. So they are going to be able to swing in 2 checks, be able to unsuspend, accidentally adding the Vmon to the hand, but we did fix that. It was just the Golden Digizoid was supposed to add to hand, an accidental Vmon add to hand. It's no big deal, so did get that fixed, but now still threatening a pretty good amount of damage. Could clear out the security, but instead of swinging in, we are just going to go with the Ice Wall. Didn't want to potentially hit something like Megadeth, or probably just Hammer Spark or Ice Wall. You can't really play around hitting Megadeth that much. You are going to be able to promote next turn. You'll be at 4 Digimon. You'll be able to swing 2 checks with the GarurumonX. And even if you do hit Megadeth, you're just looking in a really good position, and this Ice Wall really shuts down the Armor Rush player here, because if they promote, they can go to 2 and swing, but then they go to 0, and there's nothing really else that they can do. They're gonna need pretty much the nut security to be able to get them out of this here. It's gonna have to be something like triple Megadeth, maybe double Megadeth can help you out here, but looking in a really rough position right now. Not 100% sure what card could even help you here. I know they are playing Plasma Shot in the list, but no armor on board, so they can't get past the color requirements. The Plasma Shot, depending on how many armors in there, could definitely help them out, but we're going to have to see here. Going to go ahead and promote, just Digivolve up. Going into the GabumonX antibody, I don't think that matters too much. I think you can just go ahead and swing in here. You are getting 2 checks off of the GarurumonX antibody, I believe, so you should just be able to go in. Yeah, that looks like more than 8 cards in hand, so not sure why not swinging in. Gonna go into the MetalGarurumon from EX1. 8 or more cards in hand, so going to be able to gain that 2 memory, and now going to be able to swing in, and they are just going for the swing unsuspend bounce. Going to go for 2 checks. There is the Megadeth, but since you did unsuspend, I don't think it matters. I think because that was actually a pretty decent play on the unsuspend right there. I don't think there's too much you can do. You can just bounce the Melga right there, but even if you swing right here, and this is Megadeth, and it is Megadeth, it doesn't matter. You suspend, bounce another one, and then there is the 3rd attack just to go in and get game. So Melga, once again, claiming another tournament win, a deck that is not going anywhere in BT10. I will tell you what, this is still one of, if not the best decks in the format. So that's going to be pretty much it for BT9 content from me on this channel. We are going to just be going straight into BT10 as we have been for the past week. So if you enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time for some BT10 content, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Peace out.